brigade. So it shows evacuation routes, Brenneswanger, and all the details for evacuation, and also a small text that which shows actually how many people can stand in some details. I just wanted to show you. This video. It was actually on YouTube. Okay, this is what they built the stands. I don't need to talk. It shows you how big was this project. These are the platinum boxes. These are box switches. Okay. Now back to the lecture. So this was to show you how much of a work it was. It was a huge competition for Iceland and quite a big project. I think as the head of Finika Samband, he was rather stressed about it and I think everything went well. Of course, the day before the competition, David and I and some people from Fire Brigade, we went through an on-site inspection. So you can see at the top that they've indeed created this famous passage in the corner. It was actually much wider than we asked, so I was very happy about it. But these are the good things. You can see also we have a sufficiently wide evacuation route over there on the right, and you can see that this is just supposed to be 1.5 meters wide minimum, and this is much wider than what we asked. Now, these are the good things. Of course, not that good things, but okay, it could be improved. After this inspection, you can see that there is a lot of equipment in the escape routes. And also this light panels over there. It narrowed a bit the passage, a bit less than 1.4 meters, so we had to have them move a little bit. The people will still be able to move them by hand and evacuate. Of course, classical problem is, I think there are 2 or 3 doors, evacuation doors that are completely blocked with dustbins and all kinds of things. So we have to tell them to make sure that they remove everything from this. And also here you can see this is the evacuation light from the stands, and they did put this logo, so I had to go and tell them at every evacuation step, okay, move this one, and to make sure that you could put this logo, but they just had to put it a bit higher, so that evacuation lights are very visible. So these were maybe the things that could be corrected, and I think everything went fine. So now as a conclusion, if you look at on the table at the top, you can see here in both normal and advanced conditions the critical time from FDS is significantly higher than evacuation time from Pathfinder. So this means it's good. It means that people have sufficient safety margin to evacuate before they get into these dangerous conditions. Okay, so we created some alternative routes, especially for panics. So finally an agreement was reached to have something like 4,200 occupants. And Also, I proved also on this lecture that FDS6 was actually more conservative than FDS5. First of all, I want to thank Davis and Solon for their help on this project, and also Verkis for sending me to this conference. And I want to thank the board of VT to invite me, and all of you for listening. And I'll be pleased to answer your questions.
Hvað notaður sem mannstu hvað notaður að hafa mikið stóran eld í FTS?
Ja, is het er iets Sputniks nog? Ja, het leest er Onske daar. Okay, Onske. It's very difficult. That's probably the most difficult thing. First of all, what can burn, what cannot burn, and so probably this 10 megawatts. Which I don't think we can expect a 10 megawatt. That's actually a truck inside the room, something like this. But okay, it's not in writing, and we always, because we don't know what will burn in this case, we always need to take a bigger fire than expected to be conservative. So 10 megawatt is high, but I'm sure that we want bigger than 10 megawatt. So let's say that I took in this case completion metra, so it's quite a big surface. From what I saw in Genentech, they always tell you it doesn't burn. When people are selling things, it never burns. That's one rule. But I made a little research, and I saw it was probably, if it burns completely, something like 5 megawatt or something. So 10 megawatts is not crazy to this 10 megawatts.
Question about the design fire.
Yes.
The placement of the design fire. You placed it in the middle of the room.
Yes.
What happens if you placed it close to one of the exits and block the exit?
That's a very good question, especially if you look at this one. This is the main entrance of most of the people will go this way, and we have 5 different exits. So we thought about it because here they were selling some drinks and some food. So you could imagine somehow a fire in this area. But in this case, what was very crucial is people evacuated from the stands. This was difficult, and once they were on the floor, it was not a problem to go and evacuate all this way. And there is such a good evacuation plan in this building that once they were on the competition floor, they always could go this way or this way. So even in this case, this difficult case, it would be okay for evacuation.
But if you block just one route from the stands, from the floor.
This is why I wanted, this was in the previous design. For example, I don't know, here's let's say a lot of equipment for sound equipment. So you could say maybe you could have a fire below blocking, let's say, these two stairs. And in the previous design, people would have been stuck over there. But in this case now, because of these evacuation routes on the competition floor, you can all go down this way. So that's actually much safer. It gave alternative possibilities. I believe it will still be safe, but thanks to all these new routes. Is it okay now? Yeah.
I'm just wondering, did you tell them to have a certain amount of space behind the seating area? I mean, between the seating area and the exits, the passage, not inside?
No,
on the other side, it's much wider. You can walk under the
this is just
seats.
This is a few meters. I think it's about 3 or 4 meters in the worst case, right here and right there. So this is once occupants are on the floor, there are many possibilities for evacuation. So this was not the problem, and I think there are about 3 meters between the walls and the seats. And they can always walk a little bit under the stages.
Já, við langar bara að bæta inn í umræðina hérna, með staðsetningun á brunanum, að varðandi áhrifin á tíman í módelinu, það hefur voðalega lítil áhrif þó hann færist aðeins til, sko, en flóttaleiðirnar á salnum í ytri hringnum, þær eru ekki krítískar. Og það eiginlega bara að koma sér úr stúkunni, það eru stúku gangarnir sem voru dóminandi í tímanum. Þannig að þó hafði lokað einhverjum nokkrum hliðum, sko, þá hefði fólki getað færst til. En það er auðvitað rétt að þú myndir setja og loka til dæmis 2 úr stúkunni, þá fengir þú auðvitað krítískari tíma.
Takk. Other questions?
Your fire in your model was in the middle of the floor, and
yes.
And you are going to evacuate and use these side escape routes. Then the first you have to do is walk towards the fire, down to the floor, and then side. Are you not afraid of that in a human behavior you are too afraid of walk towards the fire at first?
Unfortunately, we never know what will happen and what the fate will be. And this is always the same answer I have to give. This is why we created some new evacuation routes. So even, let's say, if I understand the question, what if my fire is here, for example? Well, people will still be able to evacuate this way. So I designed it somewhat that I was not trapped. There was always an alternative escape route. Somehow, whatever happens, or realistically happens. Okay. Okay.
Já, ég vil þakka George fyrir. Þetta var mjög áhugavert.
Takk.
Og maður lærir alltaf eitthvað nýtt. Ég vil því bara þakka ykkur fyrir komuna. Ég myndi síðan á að 10. nóvember þá verður haldin svona kynning eða haldin kennsla í varðandi svindlamál, það verður seinna. Og þarna verður þá segja eitthvað takk fyrir og bara góðan dag.